Good morning. We're here at Lehigh, Oklahoma, which is just south of Colgate. We're at the Choctaw Demonstration Garden and Community Center, and I'm visiting today with Mr. jroebuck, who is who kind of manages and oversees this facility here. So, good morning, Jeffrey.
Good morning, Mr. Sheriff.
Well, we've been interested in summer here. We've initiated a pretty sizable demonstration planting with a number of different crops. We have tomatoes, we have several types of squash, we've got eggplants and peppers and all. Tell us a little bit about the reason why the Choctaw Nation is interested in doing this sort of thing.
Well, one thing with the Choctaw Nation, we like to promote healthier living, and one thing we've kind of grown apart from is gardening. And
right.
with this demonstration center, we want to try to teach people that you don't need 100 acres or 10 acres. That there's ways that you can do gardening, whether it's feed trough gardening, aquaponics gardening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing that you brought to our attention is the plastic mulch, and you know, we just want to demonstrate that there's all types of different gardening that you can do nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, when you drive by on the highway here, and this is a pretty, you don't see many large vegetable plantings this size down in this part of the state and all, and it really hasn't been a tremendous amount of labor. You know, nobody's really working full time here. Several people we've come by, myself and some of my co-workers have come by and helped out a little bit with the planting and all, but. Like you said, this plastic mulch, and we have drip irrigation installed also, and that just makes it a whole lot easier to grow vegetables and get better quality and keep things like the weeds under control. Yeah. and the diseases and all. So
yes, sir. And this spring we've had a considerable amount of rainfall, and by using the plastic mulch, I believe it has kind of shed off the water a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think if we had not used that. And we also have raised beds here. I think had we not done that, we wouldn't have any tomatoes here.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
So, just these tomatoes. Just to talk a little bit about what we're doing with the tomatoes, we actually have two different varieties planted here. So one of them is called Solar Fire tomato, and the other is Red Morning. The reason we chose those varieties is because some previous work done by the OSU. Extension vegetable program that's led by Dr. Lynn Brandenberger, who works out of Stillwater. But we trialed a number of different varieties, trying to find varieties that would continue to set fruit when we get into the hot part of the year. And these were a couple of the ones that surfaced as some of the better ones for doing that. So that's the reason we chose them, and it's kind of just a chance to demonstrate them and verify, you know, are they really good varieties for down in this area. And considering we've had some pretty hot weather the past couple weeks now, and the plants are continuing to flower, and we're still getting some fruit set. As you can see, we have, I know we've been harvesting already, but we continue to have more fruit coming on. So I think they performed pretty well.
Yes,
both
sir.
of the
Yes,
varieties.
Sir. And what we kind of been doing with the fruit is once we harvest it, we take it up to the Choctaw Center in Colgate, and we give it out to all the seniors. So it kind of working with y'all in the Choctaw Nation, we've been able to give about 100 pounds of vegetables away just to the elderly people up here.
Okay, good. So it's all it's being put to good use, and it's also we're learning. You know,
yes, sir.
We're definitely on a learning curve this year.
Yes, sir.
This is pretty much the first time to plant any vegetables on this side, I think, isn't it?
Yes, sir. We had a kind of a small scale garden last year that we was able to harvest a few things, but you know, this is our second year in production, so I believe sky's the limit.
Now we also have some back here a little ways, some eggplants and some different varieties. Why don't we walk over there a little closer and take a look at those? Well, here we have a variety or some different varieties of eggplant, and we at another location working with the farmer nearby. We're actually doing a variety trial comparing about 6 or 7 different eggplant varieties. The reason for doing that is eggplant is not a real popular crop in this area, and it's a crop that certainly can be grown here. with our hot summertime conditions, eggplant is one crop that will tolerate that heat. But it's just not a vegetable that's used real extensively in the area. But anyhow, there are people interested in it, and we're trying to find, doing these variety trials to try to find what varieties might be best, most acceptable, see if it would kind of allow a farmer to diversify, and especially people growing for the farmer's market. If they have a variety of eggplants there, that'll attract the customer's attention, and then, you know, we always have people who in fact, we often have people who say, I wish I could get some eggplant, but I can't find any. So hopefully we'll provide some answers to that, and be able to come up with some recommendations or good varieties. So we have one variety there that's a white eggplant. When it's mature, it's white. Then we have another one next to that, which is kind of a variegated, a light purple and white. And then we have one which might be considered more of the standard eggplant, which is a darker purple and globe-shaped fruits on that. So, and as you can see, they've really been productive. Here, look at, we got some nice fruit here coming on, ready to be picked. Here's some others that are a little smaller, need a few more days, but like I said, they tolerate these hot conditions well, and they just, and especially you give them some water and all to grow, and eggplant can be very productive here. So, one thing about eggplant is you're always going to see holes in the leaves, and there are several different insects that will feed on eggplant leaves, and they really, for the most part, don't do much damage. You know, that little bit of leaf perforation is really not going to interfere too much with the production also. Bottom line is, eggplants don't generally have a whole lot of pest and disease problems to deal with that you have to be concerned about. So, well, Jeff, I'm really pleased that we've been able to work together on this project here this year to learn more and be able to teach the people in the area more about growing vegetables and consuming vegetables.
Yes, sir.
That can be grown in this area.
Yes, sir. And we want to thank you and all your help and the Oklahoma State Extension, and we look forward to the partnership to keep going on.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.